Hey guys, welcome back. Now, Black Friday is here once again, and with deals being offered from everywhere, it did make me think, what would be the best Black Friday deals for crypto assets? Are there any altcoins which are screaming bargains right now and are destined to be going much higher in 2025? Well, that is what this video is all about, and we'll be covering firstly the criteria that I use to select my personal top picks. Then we'll look at which altcoins I have selected as offering a great buying opportunity for the next year. I'll share which one I've just added to myself only 3 days ago. And then as we're about to enter December, we'll finish with what I think is going to happen to crypto prices this December. Okay, so first up, whenever we talk about altcoins, just note, obviously this is not investment advice. This is just a bit of fun for Black Friday. Take all of this with a large pinch of salt and use it as a reference point of many. Now, with the disclaimer out of the way, let's have some fun on Black Friday with some altcoins. So we are starting off on CoinMarketCap. I'm sure this is a website most of you are familiar with. And the first thing I'd like to point out is how most people select altcoins. So altcoins being everything barring Bitcoin, so all the other alternatives. And I think when you watch any videos about altcoins, this is typically how it goes. People are scrolling through the top 100 and they're saying, yeah, this one can definitely 10x or 20x, or Aptos up and coming, this one's definitely going to 20x. Or if we keep going down, Cosmos, this was a great one from the last cycle. Now it's only 3 billion. This can definitely 20x. Obviously, we've now got a whole slew of meme coins as well. Look, Floki's just been listed on the exchanges at only 2 billion. This one's definitely gonna 10x. And typically, that's how it goes when people select altcoins. But the one thing that I want to point out, and the one thing to remember from this video, it's not just about how many times your altcoin is gonna do a multiple. Those familiar with my channel is that occasionally we like to come back to the risk curve, as pretty much this is what's going on in the background when it comes to investing. Everybody talks about the potential reward, how many multiples you're going to get, but that's only one half of the coin. The other side of the coin is the risk that you're going to be taking. And typically, this is how you should be viewing CoinMarketCap. So if we're looking at the top 100, then Bitcoin and Ethereum would be down here. Yes, you're not going to get many multiples, but you're also not taking much risk. And read this another way, the risk of losing all your money. Now, the one thing that OGs can teach us, like Warren Buffett, is remember his 2 golden rules. The first one is never lose money. And his second rule is never forget rule number 1. So it's not just about making money, it's about making sure you don't lose it. So when talking about altcoins, we have to look at both sides of the equation, and this is setting up my criteria for this video. So this will be CoinMarketCap's top 100. You'll have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. As we go through the top 10, they're pretty much here. Then from 10 to 20, yes, you can make a lot more money, but you're taking more risk. Then the top 30, 40, 50, and so on. And this is also relative. So if it depends what you're comparing. So if you take crypto out of the equation, this could be just investing in bonds. You're going to get a low yield, but you're taking no risk. Then you could be investing in stocks. Then you can be investing in gold, other commodities, and so forth. So anytime you think about investing, this is what's going on in the background. And when it comes to the altcoins that I'll be shouting out, it's taking the potential reward, but also it's making sure that you don't lose money. Now, that being said, let's jump in and take a look at some altcoins. So what I'll be doing in this video is we'll be going through and taking a look at the top 10 to see if there's any altcoins that really jump out in value. And the good thing about the top 10 is that these are all pretty much proven. They've been in crypto for a long time. There's people actually building things on these chains. And so the risk of you losing money is very, very low. Once you head out of the top 10, obviously you can make more money, but you're taking more risk. So one of the things that I'm looking at right now, and I think a lot of other big investors are looking at, is where the crypto asset is in comparison to its previous all-time high. So we can see, starting with Bitcoin, it's smashed through its all-time high, which is why it's kind of getting stuck at this 100K, because it's way ahead of the pack, which is why you're already starting to see rotations into the other coins. So this brings us on to the first altcoin, and that is Ethereum. And for me, Ethereum is a good bet right now because it's still below its previous all-time high, which means just to get back to its previous all-time high, you're looking at about 38% return. Plus, if Ethereum does 2 times its previous all-time high, then obviously you've got a good 200% gain. And the great thing about Ethereum is that you're probably not going to lose any money. And I think the rotation has probably started between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and likely December or latest January, you're going to see some very fast gains coming from Ethereum is my prediction. So from risk reward, Ethereum is a solid choice. Now, next up, let's look at Solana. So Solana's a bit of a different picture. You can see recently in the last couple of days, it did tag its previous all-time high. So this one has actually shown a lot of strength. So this is bittersweet. It's got pros and cons. The pros is that this is a very solid choice. Its market cap is now over 100 billion, so it's unlikely that you're going to lose all your money. But the downside is that because it's shown so much strength, the opportunity in the short term is not as good as the others. So it's not one really that I'll be shouting out as a screaming opportunity, although Solana is now my personal largest holding. Now, as we head up the risk curve, we move on to Binance's BNB, and this is a similar picture to Solana. You can see it's already tagged its previous all-time high here, it tagged it here, and so it's a very strong coin. It's got very low risk, but the most recent gains have already been made. Are there better opportunities? Well, let's move on to XRP. And just look at the gain of XRP in this last month. So this has gone from 0.48 up 246%. So this has done a total revaluation. And you can see it's done what I said is going to happen to all these top ones. It's getting right back to the previous all-time high. So this one in the short term, most of the gains has probably been made, 250%. In fact, for XRP to get back to its previous all-time high, it's now only 18% away. So this one has recently done its big revaluation. Now, moving down, we have Dogecoin. And again, although Dogecoin has had a great month, 226%, it still has a bit of way to go. So to get back to its previous all-time high, there's still a 72% gain. So I'd say this is one that I'd probably call out as a good choice for Black Friday. There's a good solid revalue still to happen of 72%. Obviously, Elon Musk is really pushing this with the new Doge agenda in the US, which is only going to help it. So this one is looking pretty good. Now, next up, we have Cardano. And again, part of the revaluation has already happened. It's jumped 225%, which is awesome. And the good news is that it still has 178% still to go just to get back to its previous all-time high. So for Black Friday, I would say Cardano is looking very, very good. In the short term, we could be seeing over the next 1 to 2 months still another massive jump from Cardano. And I'll just point out, I don't own any BNB, I don't own XRP, I don't own Doge, and I don't own ADA. Now, moving down, finally in the top 10, we have Avalanche. And Avalanche is one that I personally own. I actually picked it up here around 20, and this one has been a roller coaster. So in a matter of 3 months, it went from 20 all the way to 65, so tripled. I'm thinking I'm a genius, and then only to collapse all the way down to 17 in this big final flush out. But then obviously since then it has recovered, and just this month we saw over 100% gain. And the good news, and the reason I still like Avalanche, is that just to get back to its previous all-time high, and it's still a solid choice, it's 234%. So for me, I'm feeling very optimistic about Avalanche. I do think in the next 1 to 3 months, we're going to see a big revaluation to Avalanche. Now, feel free to do this not just to the top 10, but maybe the top 20, as you can make way more money from number 10 to number 20. But just remember, you're taking a lot more risk as well. And the altcoin that I most recently added to myself was Ethereum's ENS, Ethereum Name Service. And it's the same principle. So I actually picked some of this up in, you remember the Japanese yen carry trade flush out? I picked it up here at about 15. And then I also bought about 3 days ago, luckily just before it pumped over the last couple of days. And I think I paid about 22. And then literally in the last couple of days, it went on to do an 80% jump. So I have to admit, I definitely just got lucky there. But this month, it did do 168%, but the principle is the same. Even from where we are today, just to get back to its previous all-time high, we're looking at 259%. So I still think there's a lot of room for growth. And the theory of why I bought this one is that if there is a big rotation coming back into Ethereum, which I think is already started, then all the smaller Ethereum assets like the layer 2s and also ENS, and this one is now a $1 billion market cap. And remember, Ethereum is over 400 billion. Just a fraction of that money coming in here is going to give massive, massive gains. So this is why I chose ENS, and probably why it's had a massive pump. But the good news is, I think over the next 1 to 2 months, there's probably another big revaluation coming. So this is the one that I personally added to myself. I personally prefer crypto assets that actually do something, which is why I don't invest in meme coins. So going back to CoinMarketCap, now that you've viewed it through a different lens, this is why I think the top 10 gives amazing value. And we called out Dogecoin, Cardano and Avalanche. I think there's a high probability of getting some good short-term gains and a low probability of losing your money. I think there's going to be some great options between 20 and 30. A lot of people are talking about Aptos, Sui, Hedera, and these very well could 10, 20, 30x, but they are higher risk. So this is just a different way of viewing CoinMarketCap's top 100. Okay, and to finish up, as we're about to enter December, what do I think is going to happen to crypto prices in December? Well, let's take a look. And quite simply, I would just take a look at what has happened in the past, and we'll look at these previous halving years of 2020 and 2016. So as you can see, November's pretty much very close following suit. Last time 43%, this time 36%. And if history repeats, Bitcoin is going to have a very strong December. There's going to be, whether it's in the first week or second week, another massive run, which means it's going to smash through this 100k mark, and then likely at some point there's going to be probably quite a big correction, as that's the nature of the crypto market. And then if we look at 2016, it pretty much says the same thing, 30%, 46%. This would suggest Bitcoin's going to have a very good December. Now, when it came to Ethereum and representing more of the altcoins, we don't have much data, just the previous one of 2020. And Ethereum is already outpacing Bitcoin this month, which suggests the rotation has already begun, which is interesting. However, this is nothing new. It did 60% last time and then 20% in December. So again, this would suggest that Ethereum and probably altcoins are also going to see a nice jump. Maybe some of these revaluations are going to happen, which we've discussed. Let's see. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic that December will be a good month, and at some point we'll probably get a nasty correction as well. With Black Friday here once again, we were looking to see were there any great deals coming from the crypto market. Now, if you are a complete beginner and don't yet own anything, then probably best just to stick to Bitcoin. We did see it was Ethereum that offers a great risk reward right now, as I think a big rotation's coming back to Ethereum December or January. In fact, it may have already begun. And in the other top 10 cryptos that still give an excellent return just to get back to their all-time high, and then maybe they can double their previous all-time high, were Dogecoin, Cardano, and Avalanche. The one I just personally added to myself was ENS. As the reasoning being, if there is a big rotation coming back to Ethereum and a flood of money's coming in, then the smaller Ethereum assets should then do multiples. And if history repeats, then December is likely going to be another strong month across the board, likely followed by another hefty correction. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now, chances are I didn't select your personal favorite altcoin, and that's fine. Let me know your top picks for 2025 below. However, just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.